Let's talk about menopause, estrogen, and prevention. I'll be honest, this article was a lightning bolt for me and the way I thought about menopause, aging, chronic disease, and what the role of estrogen replacement could be. So it was co-authored by two physicians from Columbia University, a physician from the National Heart and Lung Institute from the Imperial College of London, as well as the atherosclerosis research unit that was Wendy Mack and Howard Hodis. Talk about what was happening before the WHI came out in 2002 and then what happened to women after the Women's Health Initiative came out in 2000. But I want everyone to understand this. We can't stop aging, right? I know there's a big longevity movement, and then that's great for those people. That is not my mission. My mission is for women to understand the role of menopause and the loss of their estrogen, their ovarian retirement, and how that accelerates some of the diseases we traditionally associate with aging. And specifically, this article talks about heart disease. So before the Women's Health Initiative, many women were given hormone replacement therapy. The American Academy of Physicians recommended that all women be placed on menopause hormone therapy at the onset of their menopause. We had observational data stating clearly that women were living longer and having less incidence of cardiovascular disease. But observational studies aren't proof. Observational studies are suggestions. Proof is made with a randomized controlled study, and that's what the WHI was meant to do. When the results were initially released, they didn't stratify the data based on age. And the WHI, most of the conclusions that were made have been walked back completely. When they stratified the data, looking on how far away from a woman's menopause she started hormone therapy, there seemed to be this window of opportunity of beginning HRT for protection and prevention of cardiovascular disease. And that's where we're getting the within 10 years of menopause and less than age of 60. And as we all know, after the WHI, the vast majority of women immediately stopped their hormone therapy based on fear that they would develop breast cancer. And it's taken almost a generation for regular clinical practitioners like myself to recognize actually the true safety and efficacy of this. So you would have thought, okay, well, all these women stopped hormone therapy and no one knew was going on hormone therapy. We should see this dramatic decrease in breast cancer incidence. And we don't. It's actually rising. We also saw increase in cardiovascular disease, stroke, and all-cause mortality of these same sets of women. The discrimination against hormone therapy is killing women. Now, these authors looked at studies that looked at how thick the coronary artery intima thickness was, which is a risk factor for disease, as well as calcification of the coronary arteries. It's really fascinating, and I suggest Google the title and go pull the article. There's one other finding here that shocked me to my bones. We are massively recommending treatments for prevention of cardiovascular disease that don't work in women. They work in men, but not women. Putting women on statins is currently recommended as a primary prevention strategy, and it doesn't work for women, only for men. Putting women on aspirin has never been shown to decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease, but it does in men. And putting women on an ACE inhibitor does not decrease her risk, only for men. It's frustrating to me as a female that I am being given recommendations for prevention of cardiovascular disease that don't actually help me and have side effects. But you know what does prevent cardiovascular disease? Estrogen, when given to a woman early enough. That window of opportunity, before the age of 60 or within 10 years of her menopause. And guess what? It looks like after that age, the effect is not protective, it's null, but it's not harmful, only in a very small subset of the women who probably had pre-existing cardiovascular disease. But primary prevention means you don't have any cardiovascular disease. Estrogen is better at prevention than cure.